Broadcasting live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Talktails! And now our host, she's our very own kaleidoscope of talent. What? It's Kelly Clinton!
Oh, I'm so excited. Welcome to Talktails on the Vegas Video Network. I am your host. My name is Kelly Clinton, -Holmes. Yeah, that's anyway, it's a long story, but it's an added on name, and a very handsome gentleman named Clint Holmes. He got me this and some other stuff. Boy, do we have a great show for you this week. Oh, my goodness. We have, our special guest star is an actress, an award-winning actress, and a singer, and a movie star. Guess who's here? Pia Zadora. For the longest time, I always just pushed the name all together. I said Pia Zadora. Like P is a Dora, G is a Cara. It was all wrong, but I got it straight now, and I'm very excited. She's my first girl guest. Can you believe we haven't had a female on the show yet? But before we meet Pia Zadora, I want you to meet a couple of other folks in the studio. Over here is Mr. Kenny Davidson, our Talktails Orchestra. Yeah. He is our orchestra today and always. And I also want you to meet Scott Whitney, our producer, director. Hi, Scott.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, or Gesundheit, I should say. Hey, Scott.
Yes, dear.
You want to hear about some exciting things that I've been through this week?
Yes, I do. Tell me. Okay,
all right. It's so refreshing to hear someone actually ask me something. My husband just nods and goes, Okay, so this week...
He does what exactly?
Well, he goes, and then
really
he
like
changes
that?
the channel, and I don't change.
I don't.
Anyway, so we went to the Smith Center, which, as you know, our guest today is going to be playing the Cabaret Jazz Room, and my husband plays the Cabaret Jazz Room. We were in Reynolds Hall, though, and we met a musical god. We met Mr. Stephen Sondheim. Oh my goodness! And my friend Bill says, "Well, this is Kelly," and he says, "Are you a singer, Kelly?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I am." And Bill says, she has done your song, Not Getting Married Today. Have you guys ever heard that song? It's hello, studio audience. It's the fastest song in the world. It goes 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it was like I was in a dream or something. He said to me, did you do it as fast as you can? And I said, well, Mr. Sondheim, I don't think I have. And so he said to me, people don't understand that song that goes 1,000,000 miles an hour is easier to do fast. And it was just like, a dream come true, having the songwriter tell you about the song. And he said, the P's, the K's, the consonants, be careful with those. And people never believe him that the faster the better until I make them do it. Here's a little sample. Pardon me, is everybody there? Because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate you going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do. And not a word of this to Paul. Remember, Paul, you know the man I'm going to marry, but I'm not, because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is. So I thank you all for the gifts and the flowers. Thank you all. Now it's back to the showers. Don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today. Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for. A wedding, what's a wedding but a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard of, which is followed by a honeymoon. Suddenly you realize he's settled with a knife. Usually someone tells me to shut up by now.
I was... So
anyway, it was
to be honest,
surreal, Scott.
I have to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two things were going on there. First, I was incredibly intimidated by that. And second, I have to say, be honest with you here. Now, I'm glad that Clint's not here, quite frankly, but you are looking quite lovely.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm guessing that you're probably feeling pretty good, too.
Well, it's a week before my cycle. And I ain't talking about my bike, Scott. I said it's a week before my cycle. I ain't talking about my bike. I just thought I ought to warn you. This is a part of me I don't think you'll like. Easily irritated, My emotions are out of whack.
We'll be back with
My
Pia
stomach
Zadora.
is all bloated. I got pain in my lower back.
You know, one of the things I like best about the Vegas Video Network are the people. There are no divas here. Everyone is exactly the same off camera as they are on.
Hey guys, what's cocktail of the week this week?
You know what? I'll let you know what it is when it's time for you to know what it is. Why don't you get off the stage and get back in your production hole? Oh my God. You know what? And tell cheap-ass Whitney to get us some decent brand liquor. This hobo off-rap crap ain't cutting it. God, idiots.
Totally.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Talktails. I am your host, Kelly Clinton Holmes, and I hope I didn't scare you away with my PMS Blues song before the break. But I'm very excited because today my first female guest, so she understands the PMS Blues, I'm sure. She is an award-winning actress, singer, movie star. Say hello to Pia Zadora. Yay!
Hey!
Chicks! It's just the chicks. It's just the girls.
We are the chicks.
And not only are you my first female guest, but you're my first guest who has agreed to drink some alcohol. Yeah! The show is called Talktails, but we haven't drank since I started hosting.
I know. So. I can't leave you alone for a second.
I know. So what do you got?
It's not okay. You either have to drink or rename the show.
See, we're going to start a new foundation or something, or have a telethon. Drink, drink, drink. What do you got? You got something to add to our drink?
I got some Queen olives.
She brought her own olives with her.
Because we're queens.
Queen olives.
Aren't we queens?
Yes,
we're the chick queens.
Well, I have to say, before we get into the interview, you are stunning. You're absolutely gorgeous, and your shoes are to die for.
Thank you.
In fact, you can't see the shoes, but if I were wearing those shoes, I would die in them. Whoa, hey, hey, watch the camera angle. There we go, there we go.
Shoes.
See, now this is a girl on girl. Girl on girl interview.
Girl on girl interview.
I know, Scott is going crazy. So, Pia, you're from New Jersey.
Yes.
I'm from New Jersey.
Where in New Jersey?
I'm from Palisades Park, New Jersey, and you are from?
Hoboken.
Hoboken.
Yeah, but I just lived there for a year.
Only for a year?
I got scared out by the smell.
Oh, no.
I was asphyxiated and I had to move.
Well, where are you from originally then?
I was from Hoboken.
Oh, but only 1 year?
Yes, only 1 year.
Do you feel like there's a part of Jersey in you? Though?
Yeah.
Where did you leave and go to after that?
I went to Queens. To Brooklyn and then Queens.
Okay, so you are a New York girl, and I didn't know this, but you are a Broadway baby.
Yeah. I started when I was 7.
7 years old.
On Broadway.
Tell us about that.
I was a very shy little girl. I know it doesn't seem right. But I was going to parochial school, and the nuns thought that I was socially retarded.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I was an only child, and I went to a dramatic school. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts to bring me out of my shell. And Burgess Meredith was looking for a little girl to co-star with Tallulah Bankhead in a Broadway show.
Wow.
He scouted me, I auditioned, and that's it.
That is amazing. So the nuns almost held you back from the career that you've had. My goodness, they are so mean. They pull your hair and they call you retarded. They're terrible. Now, your parents were in show business as well, right?
My mother was a singer. My father was a concertmaster, musician, violinist.
So that's how they ended up so you think because they wanted to bring you out of your shell, they put you in dramatic school, right?
Well, I had the musical ability. They started me singing when I was 3 or 4 years old. And so it just kind of segued into the music being my way of kind of expressing myself. Because I really couldn't express myself very well. I only spoke Polish till I was a year old.
Oh, so you're Polish and Italian,
Italian,
right?
yeah.
So you only spoke Polish. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you speak it now? Or is it gone? Did it stay in your
You know,
memory?
when I'm speaking to someone who speaks, it's okay. I'll get it, you know.
Can you give me
it takes me a while.
Can you say anything?
Jak się masz? Bardzo dobrze. I speak French too.
Really? Give us a little of that.
Oh, parlez-vous du Benet?
I would absolutely love to, and I'd like some ketchup on the side.
Okay.
Do you remember the first production you were in? Burgess Meredith put you in there. What was the role?
It was a little girl, and I was being corrupted by Tallulah Bankhead, who was this crazy, drinking, smoking babysitter. I was 7, and it was a comedy, Mary Chase comedy. She just kind of made me crazy. But then I was in Fiddler on the Roof. I was the youngest daughter for 2 years, and
2 years on Broadway.
On Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yeah, with Zero Musdale and Herschel Bernardi, and
that's amazing.
Is how I got my grasp of the only 3 Yiddish words anyone needs to get by in life.
Okay, did we get those already?
Mazel tov, oy vey, and schmuck.
Oh, you know what? That could get you through a night out on the town. Yeah, and you have one person laughing really hard.
I know. I'm taking.
Should I say
home.
one schmuck? No. Mwah, I love you. I'm sorry. Okay, so you were on Broadway at an age like that. Did you get the bug right away? Were you hooked in there right away? Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
You know, I really didn't.
No,
but it was an escape because I couldn't relate to my peers. So I used that as a way of being important.
Right.
And expressing myself.
Absolutely. That is usually the story of an entertainer. My husband and I talk about this all the time, is if we're shy or scared, this is the way we express ourselves. And it ended up, for all the 3 of us I just mentioned, being what we did for the rest of our lives so far. Anyway. Yeah. So we're going to talk more with Pia Zadora. Pia Zadora, after we take a short commercial break, and we're going to talk about the movies, a couple of the relationships in her life, and perhaps she'll sing for us later. I'm thrilled to have you, and I'm going to try her little shoes on before we come back. We'll be right back after this with more Talktails.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
Welcome back to Talktails. I'm your host, Kelly Clinton. Hey, if you want to reach us, you can email us, talktails@VegasVideoNetwork.com. Or you could actually leave us a voicemail, and you might make it on the air. All you have to do is go to the website, VegasVideoNetwork.com, and click on this. Right there it says Start Recording. Tell us how you feel. Ask us some questions. Or if you want to talk to us right now while we're on the air, if you have a question for Pia or myself or Kenny or Scott or or the audience, you could do the live chat with us. So, and if you don't get to watch us right in the moment live, you could always check us out on VegasVideoNetwork.com and watch the shows. You could check us out on YouTube. You could check us out on Roku. You could check us out on KSHP 1400 AM radio, 12 p.m., right, Scott? Yes. Every Saturday, we are back with Pia Zadora, who, her shoes aren't so little after all, but they still didn't fit. She wears a 7, I wear a 9.5. I don't want to talk about that. Welcome back, Pia Zadora. You're so gorgeous. You've been in movies and television. What was the big movie that you were in? I know what it is. And where you won a Golden Globe Award for New Artist, Best Actress?
Yes, Best Newcomer.
Best New Artist. And the movie was
Butterfly with Orson Wells and Stacy Keach.
You know, not everybody could say that. I was in a movie, and it was in Orson Wells and Stacy Keach. How old were you at the time?
I was in my early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yeah.
And what was it like working with Orson Wells?
Oh, Orson Wells was a kick.
Yeah?
He was out of control. He had a marijuana patch. I mean,
need
I say anymore?
Is that so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
At lunch break, he went home to water his marijuana patch.
Water, that's what a lot of folks say. I'm going to water my marijuana patch.
So I said, let's get naked and smoke. Which is my line from Hairspray.
Now which
was my favorite movie.
Was that your favorite movie?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but can I go back to Butterfly for a moment? Because there was a lot of controversy there.
Sure.
First of all, the storyline was a little edgy.
Incest.
Tell us about incest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about watering your marijuana. Anyway, so, and you were naked in the movie, weren't you?
There was a partial. There was a topless and rear view scene.
And so, what was it like doing a movie on that subject?
I think I was too young to really understand it. It was just working with those guys, though, was really amazing. I mean, Stacy was just a consummate actor, and Edward Albert Jr. and Ed McMahon, was in it.
Oh, wow.
And I was a baby, and it was an interesting... What I liked about the character was she was a very strong person. And she wanted what she wanted, and she was going to get what she wanted no matter how she got it. And I liked that. It empowered me. I wanted to connect with that type of a person.
Right.
Now, I mean, not unscrupulous, obviously. It was just a movie. But
just a strong woman.
There was a part of me that felt that. And I wanted to bring that to the screen.
I know we all want to be stronger women. Do you feel like you've changed a lot over the years? I mean, you were in your early 20s, now you're in your late 20s. Have you, do you feel like you speak up for yourself more now and kind of tell people what you want or what you don't want?
I think as you mature, you develop a stronger sense of yourself and the ability to really assert yourself.
Right.
In a good way.
Now, can we talk about your earlier marriage to an older gentleman?
Sure.
Okay, so you married Mr. Rickless, who was a very powerful man in Las Vegas and probably all over the world, right? So you got a little criticism when you got that Golden Globe Award. How did you respond to that? Because we get a lot of praise as entertainers, but we also get picked on a lot. How did you handle that at the time?
Well, obviously, you know, he was my husband, and he was an older man. He had financed the film. And people were saying, oh, he bought the Golden Globe.
Right.
But you can't buy a Golden Globe. You can't buy, I had a Grammy nomination also. You can't buy a Grammy nomination. It made for great copy, but it wasn't true.
Right.
And our relationship was, we met when I was very young, and there was a big age difference. He was, I think, 40-something, and I was 19. And he was extremely powerful, extremely bright, extremely funny, had a very thick accent. I didn't understand what he was saying, which was part of the problem.
Or sometimes can make a relationship last longer.
No, we had two great kids together, and he had a strength that I had never known in a man, because my father just wasn't that way.
Right. But the point is, you were an actress long before you met him. So
well, that's true.
It's so mean. People can be so mean, but there's someone on the line. Do we have a live chat question? Oh.
We do.
Actually, really quickly.
You kind of touched on it. Julie wanted to know, what was your personal reaction to winning the Golden Globe New Star of the Year? I mean, personally, how'd that affect you when your name was called?
Well, it was kind of scary, because when I was nominated, I was blown away. I had no idea what the foreign press was. I had no idea.
You had no idea. You know what? This is what I did. I asked you a question. We had 10 seconds left. So we're going to be continued.
Okay.
Right after this.
TBC.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
For more intense conversation with Pia Zadora on Talktails.
This is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because it's David from. You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
Okay, so when we went out to the break, Pia was in the middle of her answer on her reaction, her response to winning the Golden Globe. Pia Zadora, you are the winner. Take it.
I was totally blown away. And it was because I had no idea that I was going to win. I thought it was a huge, long shot.
Right.
It was the Newcomer of the Year award. The film hadn't been released. Nobody had seen it yet. I was basically an unknown in Hollywood, but the foreign press had seen it. And it was the award that Marilyn Monroe had won, and
Wow.
and Marlon Brando had won.
Wow, that's
and I just,
wonderful.
I didn't even want to go because I didn't want to walk away a loser.
Right.
When they called my name, I was like, hello? Really? I ran up there and I grabbed it before they decided they made the wrong decision. It was like, the whole thing was such a whirlwind. But, you know, in retrospect, when I won that award, I had a choice. You know, there was a lot of controversy surrounding it because I was an unknown.
Right.
My choice was either go home with my tail between my legs
Right.
or get out there and use the visibility that it gave me to do my thing
Absolutely.
and be who I was,
Wonderful.
which is what I did.
You know, it's so funny, when you first reacted, I expected you to go, what? But everything you say is in this sexy, beautiful voice. Is that just a natural thing?
I don't know. My
something you
husband,
thought
my
of?
husband is a cop, and he, you know, from guns, he has a little loss of hearing.
Yes.
And I speak very softly, but I sing very loudly.
Yeah.
And he's always going, what? What? I can't hear you. And it's really annoying. But I do speak softly,
Yeah,
don't
you
I?
have this very sexy voice, and I think I'm going to try to put more of that into my own life.
Okay.
Let me go back to, you mentioned, you said gun, the hearing loss from him. He's a police officer.
Yes.
But you were in a very loved movie, Naked Gun, 33 and a half.
That was my favorite,
Oh,
33 and a third.
33 and a third?
Yeah, with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, what was that
Academy
like?
Award scene was the big scene. It was crazy. Those guys are so much fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy to
They
work
drink
with them.
like we do. I haven't taken a sip yet.
They drink.
Have a sip.
They sit on fart bags.
Oh.
They do everything.
Nothing beats that.
No, it's
You
crazy.
know, that's what this show is missing.
Cheers.
Fart bags. I have to drink the red. Cheers to our first girls show.
Cheers.
Hey, Pia, you had a lot of success in the recording industry. I know that you did really well in Europe as well. Tell us about your recording career.
Well, I had a duet with Jermaine Jackson that was the #1 duo of the year.
Jermaine Jackson?
Jermaine Jackson, and I had a bunch of #1 records on my own. I had a big recording career in Europe.
In Europe.
I was a pop star.
Here as well.
And here
though.
too,
You had lots
I was
of success.
nominated for Grammy. I lost to Tina Turner in 1984.
Who? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Tina Turner.
If you're going to lose to
That's
Tina
right.
Turner.
That's right. And then Sinatra kind of nabbed me, and I started doing the standards, which are the songs I'm doing now on my show.
Which we have to say, I mean, this is the most important thing about our interview today, is you are performing at the Smith Center July 27th and 28th in Cabaret Jazz. And that's what we should expect, is some great standards. And who's working with you? I know the answer. Tell them.
Vinnie Falcone.
And Vinnie Falcone
was with Sinatra.
Musical director.
His
Conductor.
conductor, arranger, and he was with him for years.
And you met Sinatra many, many years ago. And he saw your act. And he called you, and what did he say?
Well, he sent me a bouquet of roses, white roses.
God, that never happened to me. Go ahead.
From the guy with the blue eyes.
Uh-huh.
And You Knocked Him Dead, Kid. And then his people called me and said, would you like to open for Frank and tour with him? I'm like, well, think about it.
Will you do a little piece of a song for us before we go, Pia?
Sure.
And I'm going to be there on July 27th and 28th. You don't want to miss this wonderful performer, entertainer, and my first beautiful lady on the show.
I'm glad I was the first girl. First one. I'm the first one to take
You never
a sip.
take that
I'm the first
away
sipper.
from us. You're the first sipper.
That's right. It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone, the movies that we know, may just be passing fancies, and in time will go. But oh, my dear, our love is here.
Pia Zadora, thank you so much for being our guest. We will see you at the Smith Center, and we'll see you back on Talktails next time.
Whatever
Thank you, Penny
and
Davidson.
day.
Woo!
In time, the Rockies may crumble. Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay.
Woo! I'll drink to that. Woo! Katie, play a little more. Play a little more. Thank you so much, Pia.
That was fun.
Fun.